opposition truly unite, or will ambition fracture the coalition before the real contest even begins? Well, to discuss all of this and more, we're joined by Bolaji Abdullahi, National Publicity Secretary of the ADC. Good morning. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Quite a lot going on these days in the country and even within your party, as you are. We hear what the president has said, but within the ADC, much as we see from the outside, I mean, you're on the inside. So what's going on in terms of your preparations, the build-up to unseat the sitting government?
Well, I mean, thank you very much. As you are aware, ours is a coalition, people coming from different political parties who have been displaced in their original political parties because of the problems within those parties engineered by the ruling party. Now, we are here at the coalition, and it's in the last 9 months, the effort has been to bring everybody together and believe in a common objective and a common agenda. We are thrown what looked like a problem actually turned out to be a blessing for us. The move by INEC on April 1 to de-recognize the leadership of the party created an adversity for us in the party. And you know the way adversity has a way of bringing everybody together. So more than we would have done on our own, that particular action brought all the leaders closer together, and everybody now began to see that what is at stake is bigger than individual ambition. So you will hear people say, I'm best, and oh yeah, that's what politicians and contestants will say. But the role of a political party essentially is to aggregate and discipline this interest to ensure that. So every single one of the aspirants today recognize one thing, that what is at stake is bigger than. So, and I believe that we are going to go in the right direction.
Is there I assume there will be, but I still have to ask, is there some sort of plan within the party to reach out to all of these key persons who have their eye on the shot, that main ticket, such that if they don't get it, they will still pull together, support whoever emerges, and ensure that you forge a common front to achieve the objective?
Yeah, I mean, of course, a lot of course, you see since the convention will be hearing that people have been granting interviews and saying things, and that has also triggered certain processes within the party to say, gentlemen, please calm down. What the national chairman is assuring everybody is there will be an open, transparent process and will provide a level playing field for everyone. Because essentially it's also about people who have carried ambitions probably of a lifetime. So at the end of the day, the scenario that we will expect is that one person emerges as the flag bearer of the party, and does not leave so much bitterness behind so that everyone can rally. And that's why ahead of that we're trying to say, look, and the coalition is going to get bigger. We envisage a situation that the coalition will get bigger. And when we started this, Kwankwaso was not with us, he's with us now. We envisage that in the coming days, more people will come in, more big wigs will come in. And because it is clear today that there is only one way we can achieve what we want to achieve for this country is for all opposition to be under one platform.
I think the idea for a number of people will be whether there's a mechanism. I think Chamberlain spoke to that, the mechanism to reach out. Is there, because we did see what happened within other political parties. It would seem that the leadership of those parties were not neutral. They were in favor of certain candidates.
Absolutely.
Do you have that assurance that the leadership of the ADC can be neutral and will not be, skewed in favor of any candidate whatsoever?
Well, I can assure you, I think one of the blessings for ADC is that our national chairman is Senator David Mark. No one in that party today. The reason we have been able to come this far is that every single one of the aspirants have implicit confidence in his neutrality, in his objectivity, and those of us, and he has inspired many of us. We may have our own preferences, as normal, but because when we look at someone like Senator David Mark, we understand what our obligations should be as officers of the party. So I can assure you, because the only way anyone can accept the outcome of results, and he tells us, we have no business blaming INEC. if our own internal democracy does not command confidence in terms of its transparency and justice. And that's what's happening in ADC.
What about a plan, a manifesto, clear objective? Because as you have admitted, this is an amalgam of different interests, and it's going to take a lot, you were saying, to discipline it into the overall interest of the party. So far so good. Would you say that the ADC has been able to come out with some clear plan, which differentiates it from what the Green Party is currently about? Because even they too were an amalgam, and some people were in the APC.
I mean, I'm glad you said that, because if not, INEC threw us a curveball on April 1, and that became that we had to recalibrate our priorities. Otherwise, what we'll be talking about now is public presentation of our manifesto, our ethical framework. Both are ready. We will have been talking about presenting them to the Nigerian public at this time. Now they've thrown us in a situation where we are grappling with these court cases. But what I can say clearly is that this question has been repeatedly asked. And one of the things, and I'm really delighted to see that Nigerians are locked in that way. They keep asking us, "Oh, you guys are doing thing. So what are you going to do differently?" And that has forced us to reach to the depth of our resources to say, hang on, guys, what really are we going to do differently? And we are clear the kind of political party we want to be. We want to be a deliberate, progressive party that put the interest of Nigerians first. We are not going to, there are some things this government did that we will not do. In putting the interest of Nigerians first, we mean that fuel subsidy, for example, it may be a good thing to remove fuel subsidy, but we are saying that the regressive nature of fuel subsidy is the problem, not the fuel subsidy itself. And we are saying that removing fuel subsidy for everyone is as bad as giving fuel subsidy to everyone, because there are people who do need subsidy. Nigerians are too poor to be left to their own devices. Nigerians need to be protected from the market. And you can see it plays out all over the world. When the Strait of Hormuz crisis happened and the fuel and the cost of fuel started jumping out of normal, governments all over the world rolled out what is it called, palliative, I'll call it that, to keep the price down so that it doesn't go beyond certain limit. Our government doesn't do anything. So that's why I say we will not do that. I'm not here to campaign, but all these have been articulated. What we will do in security, what we will do in economy, what we will do in the human development sector. Because it is very clear today that the cost of living crisis that Nigerians are facing is almost unprecedented. I mean, and so if you permit me to say this, when the president said, "I'm not scared," I'm not scared, they think they can scare me. We are not here to scare anybody. But if the president is really tuned in to what is going on in the country today, he should really, really be afraid. Unless the people around him are lying to him. The that is gathering is scary. Is it the woman that watched her child go to bed hungry, crying to bed, sleep hungry? Is it a man that watched his wife raped in his presence in Zamfara? So if the president is not, so what we expect the president to be saying is to be addressing this, to be saying that, look, I'm doing my best. My best may not be good enough, but this is it. But we see a government that is telling people to make sacrifices, but they are living the life of opulence. So why would people make sacrifices? Have you seen the convoy of the First Lady?
We need to go on a commercial break, but we'll come back and let you conclude your thoughts in a moment. Don't go away. Welcome back. So what is the plan? Because, I mean, clearly any democracy needs opposition to ensure that the people have an option so that at least governance and their lives will be better.
Yeah.
But we understand, I mean, there's talk about consideration of PRP in the event that all else doesn't fall in line with the ADC. What can you tell us about that? No,
there's no such thing. We are confident that we will contest the 2027 election as ADC. You see, I'll go back to, I was talking about what the president said last week. He said, they didn't want me to, I went through primaries, they didn't want me. I went through the election, they didn't want me. Is it now that he stopped? Is it now that I'm in that void? He's saying something. Is it now that I'm in control of INEC? Is it now that I'm in control of judiciary?
That's you filling the void, right?
Yes, exactly. But that's
you are filling it.
But
you're the one filling it.
So there's no other possible. There's no other possible interpretation to what he said. He said, "Look, they didn't want me. Is it now that?" What does that mean? So, but you see, the judiciary as an institution has always existed and will continue to exist. The president may feel that he has a few judges that he can, but the judiciary as an institution will endure and will deliver justice unless this is not a democracy. And that's why we are confident that when the case comes up, I'm not discussing the case, when the case comes up, the Supreme Court of Nigeria will have to be willing to undo its fundamental pronouncement on ADC. Because when you say that internal party affairs of political parties is not justiciable, and this has been the established judicial precedent. So you have to be willing to undo that and say every single lower court decision that has been taken based on this Supreme Court ruling was wrong. And it's on that. So there is a limit to how much you can think you have the control of judiciary and the judges. There is a limit to how they are going too far. Because, and that's what we're saying, that for today, as at yesterday, we have about 3.7 million registered members. So when you create a situation that it's impossible for this 3.7 million members, we're not even talking of other Nigerians who can't wait to see the back of this government.
Registered in a database?
Yeah, registered in our database as members. I can send the evidence to you. As a matter of fact, since the INEC took the decision to register David Mark and Rauf and myself and others, we've witnessed an unusual surge in membership registration. Because Nigerians can now see clearly what is playing out. And they say that, look, if it's either this is a democracy or it is not. If it's not a democracy, then that's why we keep saying that Amukpito, or the INEC chairman, should not waste anybody's time. Let them go and buy a crown and put it in President Bolaji's head, so we know it's not a democracy. But as long as it is democracy, Nigerians will choose. They say we are not different from the people in power, but let the people decide who their oppressors will be. That is what democracy is.
All eyes will be on that this week. There's one coming up on 22nd. So we'll be looking to see how all of that eventually plays out. But we have to thank you for coming on, Bolaji Abdullahi, National Publicity Secretary of the ADC. Thank you for coming on and all the best.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
That wraps it up today on the program. We do thank you all for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow. I'm Chamberlain Usof. Goodbye.
Thank you. I'm Maupe Ogun Yusuf. Have a good day.